Hi everyone, Vickieverlie here. Today I want to show you some things that you can do that can be very healing and therapeutic, and it's also to co-create your reality and working with the law of attraction and co-creation. And it's therapy through art. It's actually called quite a few things. I wrote some of them down. It's been called automatic drawing, subconscious drawing, art as a spiritual practice, therapeutic art. So there's a lot of different people that are doing it, a lot of different modalities. And I recently started doing it. When it started, many of you know, I've always done art, but over the last few decades, at least the last couple decades, I've definitely been more towards the digital. And many of you have seen some of my, creations, the tapestry of life, and then the the different decks that I've created and whatnot. And digital is really cool, but I actually did learn pre-digital, believe it or not. I actually did go to art school back in the day, and it was before computers, when everything was done by hand. And during the COVID, how I started kind of finding my way back to just drawing by hand and using my hands was during COVID. There's a local group that has a weekly portrait drawing group, and I have attended on occasion, but I wasn't a regular attendee by any means. I'd go every once in a while, it was every Friday night. But when they started during COVID, during the shutdown, they started having it online on a Facebook group. So then I started getting into the practice of doing it just every week, and I really realized that it totally relaxed me. It totally it became, I was saying to people, it's like it's a spiritual practice, not knowing that anybody else was doing this. That this was just something I sort of found and discovered on my own. And sure enough, as soon as I started looking, there's all sorts of people doing it. And that's, back to the universe is always broadcasting. It doesn't require, I do have some art training, but it's not about creating some big masterpiece. Anybody can do this. And the exercise that we're going to do today for the upcoming year, this is more of a doodle than anything else. So if you can doodle, you can do this. You can do this exercise, and I feel like it could be very beneficial. So how I came up with it? Yesterday was my birthday. I'm doing this the day of my birthday, and I was just pondering the solar return, and I just started doodling. Solar return, December 26, 2020. And, it just sort of turned into this big thing. And I'm going to quickly, kind of go over it. You can take a closer look at some of my doodles from the other day. And again, mine's pretty, elaborate and artistic. It doesn't have to be elaborate at all. It could be scribbly. It could be a lot of different ways. It's meant to be cathartic. It's meant to be healing. And it's meant to open you up to be co-creation with, your higher self, your highest power, whatever that might be. So as this just turned into this thing here, and it was this all-night thing, and I felt like I got so much out of it. I felt so much more relaxed and at ease, and everybody, I think, can use that at this time on our planet. And also, many of us are cooped up inside. This takes your mind off your worries, the doodling. That's what it's really about. But here, so what we're going to do today is we're going to do one for the upcoming year, which right this time it's 2021, but I mean this video will be up there forever, so it could be, it might end up being 20 whatever, years down the road. So what I've done, just to start with, for a little illustration, is we're going to do some roughs. But I mean, normally I wouldn't do any roughs, and I really maybe wouldn't even recommend doing any roughs. That's what these little boxes are for. There's old time. Let's make up some roughs, but I'm just doing this for an example. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the year on the page somewhere. That's how I'm going to start it. I'm going to start by putting the year on the page, and that's why I wanted to just do these little roughs. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can, you can just see that it could, it could just go anyway. You could just put big letters 2021 right in the middle of the page. You could maybe draw a circle and have 2021 like going around the circle this way or that way. You could go from corner to corner, 2021. You could go from, it's just, you could do it up and down, 2021, stack it, or, corner to corner this way. It's just endless. You could just write. You could start by because you can layer this too. That's another process. That's used more in painting, but you could do it with anything. You could do painting layers if you wanted. You can use any materials that you wanted. You can, I'm going to use a sketchbook with, you know, colored pencils and pens, but you can just use a scratch piece of paper and a pencil and put it away somewhere. Put it in an envelope and save it. Those are kind of fun too, when you put things, you do your year ahead and then you put in an envelope and then save it for later. I'm all about doing what you want to do, not New Year's resolutions. Don't emphasize what you don't want. We're going to emphasize what we do want in this process. Okay, and you know, you could use paints, and you could use markers, or you could use ink, you could use crayons, you could use any media that you really wanted. You could even do it digital, but I really feel that you get a lot more out of it by actually having your hands on it, like getting your hands in the dirt kind of, you know, vibration. Yeah, so back to this, you could start out and just, you can write row after row of 2021, 2021. You can go do like this, 2020, put twos all down the road, and you know, down the road, and down the, you know, and then do it like this, you know, 2021, like in rows, perfectly neat. Or you could swerve it around, or you could put it in like a shape like this. You know, this is you. This is just doodling. You could write it all around the outside. I'm putting 2012, but you know what I mean, 2021. You could put it all around the outside of the paper. I keep putting 2012, but we're doing 2021. Oh, 2021, you know, you could do like that, and or even keep going round and round and round and get smaller and smaller. Or, you know, like I think I'm just going to do the big old 2021. I think I'm going to make mine kind of like blocky letters to start with. I mean, the less thinking about it, the better it is, especially in the very beginning phases, because in the very beginning phases, we're just trying to get kind of loosened up, and kind of just get, you know, let our subconscious mind kind of, you know, loosen up and get that flow going between the subconscious and the mental mind, because this can really help you to turn off that mental mind for a minute, to just, you know, stop worrying, release from your troubles and things like this. Okay, so as I was saying, this isn't about creating a masterpiece. This is just about, this is for you and only you. I mean, maybe it'll turn out cool and you can show it to people, but that's not really what we want to do. Like with this one, I just wrote solar return, and I just sat with it. And originally it started to be like a sun, and then it turned into a flower, and then these random things started showing up. Okay, so now we're ready to move over to start our process. It's a drawing, but it's a process. It's a doodle. And again, I think what I want to do with mine is I want to put like big kind of blocky letters right in the middle of the page to start. So I'm going to make a big 2, and then I'm going to make a 0, and then I'm going to make another 2, and a 1. I'm actually doing the second take on this because I did 2020 in the last one. But it's 2021. This is what we're coming to. Okay, and the 2s, you know, this 2 energy and the 22, this is the time to connect with the Divine Feminine. That is what the number 2 stands for. It's intuition. It's Divine Feminine. And this is very much in your cognitive brain. Now there's no right or wrong here, but what I want to do is I want to write some things right in the numbers. We can doodle above and below. Actually, I kind of do have a little bit of a preconceived notion that I felt like I wanted to doodle below, like things of my earthly or my mental mind, and then in the top do some doodling for some spirit stuff. But let's go ahead. I'm just going to write, I think the main thing that I want to manifest for 2021 is happiness. And then I think I'm also going to write love down here. You don't have to write in the numbers. You can write on the side, you can write around the numbers, you can write, there's no right or wrong way. This is just doodling. But it's, at this point, let's just start thinking about some words. Some words that we, you know, some good words. Some good words that are positive, and some positive things that we would like to connect with in the upcoming year. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around and just start decorating. You could go through and write out the whole thing. You could start doodling anywhere. Again, there's no right or wrong. But what I'm going to do is go around and start decorating this. I'm going to pay homage to it. I'm going to dress it up and make it look pretty. And in doing so, by the doodling, you get your mind out of the way. You don't have to think about, well, how am I going to have happiness if this and this and this? You don't. You just, oh, happiness. I like that. Back to the thing what I said in the one video I said about how I like that. You don't have to, beat yourself up if you're not manifesting it right away. But is happiness and love something that you like? Yeah, something I like. So I'm going to dress it up and make it look pretty. You don't have to do this kind of decoration. You don't have to do any of this. You could make a big 2 and you could take it all at once. You could decorate the whole thing. If you already have like some keywords and things that you want to, if you're already on the ball on that, I'm kind of just going off the cuff here. But if you're, if you already have some things that are, you could just do the whole thing, or you could start writing words down here, or you could start doodling. Well, we're going to get to that. Right now I want to do this. Now this, I'm going to go to 0, and I was thinking maybe I don't want to put my prosperity stuff in 0. This is emotional. Maybe I don't want to, but 0 is infinity. It's things coming full circle. It is a new beginning. 0 in the tarot is the Fool, so it's the new beginning. So it's a little crowded here. I mean, you don't have to adhere to these definite designs, but I might put the decoration kind of on the inside. Looks like a donut. It's kind of reminding me of a donut. And that's okay. Don't be like, oh, it looks like a donut. I'm done. This is silly, let it be silly. Let it be silly. Let it be... See, when I start just doodling, it's hard for me to keep talking because your mental mind is disengaged, and that's, sometimes we need to do that. It's a good way to like unplug. So I want to manifest prosperity, and I want to manifest success. I hope that's how you spell success. I'm not even sure. I don't know if that really matters, spelling words correctly, but I'm going to go ahead and look it up real quick anyway. And be silly. Have fun with it. It's not a serious matter. The lighter you can be, really, the better it's going to be. Boy, my smudge stick is just going wild here. I'm going to get it out of the way. It's like, it's almost too much. It's not almost too much. It's absolutely too much. Well, here's another thing, just a little side tip, not really about the art necessarily, but when those smudge tips start really burning, a lot of times it's saying that these are things that you really, that there needs to be clearing in order for that to happen. Okay, so then we've got this, and then we've got prosperity. And how about, let's do the next one. Let's do physical health. I decorated that before I wrote in it too, which I just now caught myself that that's what I did. I didn't even realize that's what I did, but hey, if it goes like that, it goes like that. So let's say health, well-being, and let's say strength. Okay, and then I'm going to decorate this one. I think I'm going to put some little circles around it. Maybe, don't overthink it. Just let it be what it's going to be. I think I'm just going to kind of do some little... So they could all be the same. They don't have to be the same. They don't have to be the different, whatever it might be. Again, no right or wrong. Okay, and then the last one is 1. So I've got health, happiness, love. I think for me, this could be anything you want, by the way. You don't have to follow my example here, but I'm going to do this as creativity. Because to me, creativity is very important, and in fact, it's been my salvation. Creativity. See, it's funny, I'm laughing, but that's what happens when you start into this doodling mode. That doing language and stuff, that's the other side of the brain. You know, I think that's the left side. I always get that confused, but that was like from that book, The Artist's Way. It was about engaging, you know, that other side of your brain. I read that years ago. But one side of your brain is very technically oriented, handles language, speech, you know, these kinds of things. And then the other side of the brain is where the flow is, the creativity. And this can also help you to I seem to want to put these little half circles on everything. Without thinking, I just started doing this. So, I mean, for some reason, that's what wants to... see, it's hard to keep talking when I'm engaging that other side of my brain. But that seems to be what wants to come out. So this is just where my foundation. Your foundation could be totally different. You could make it in a box and decorate behind it. You know, you could make it in a circle and decorate, you know, or, you know, it's whatever you want. I feel like it's really powerful to start writing down some of the words, though, that the words are in it. You can cross over, even if you decide you're going to cross over it later or paint over it, those words are still there. So therefore, they still have power, they still have resonance, they're still part of the process, and they're still being... You're communing with your subconscious mind. So even if they don't end up in the final piece, or if you even want to look at it as a piece, you know, if they don't end up in the final completed drawing or completed doodle, it doesn't matter. They're there. The energy of these words are still there anyway, no matter what. How I want to feel about this, I kind of feel like I want to make these the building blocks or the foundation of where I'm at now, and then I want to make the top part more of spirit. You don't have to do that. You could do it the way radiating out too, if you want to follow this process. I'm going to decorate this a lot more than this too. It's going to be, you know, full color when I'm done, but I just feel like I want to put some blocks in the bottom, like building blocks for bricks. What do I have to build upon in 2021? I keep wanting to call it 2020. And I think I want to, well, let's see. Well, I guess, I don't know. I was wanting to make them all different colors, but I could add different colors later. And as I was doing this, I was feeling like, you know, and you don't have to do bricks. You could do rocks or blades of grass, you know. But I feel like something on the bottom for this project anyway. You could do a bunch of these. You don't have to, like, this is officially my 2021 doodle. You know, you could do them all day long, and you can, you know, keep doing them. And you could do one just for emotional stuff, and one just for prosperity, or one just for, you know, this is, you know, you're not, okay, well, it's done, I'm done. But I was thinking about the red, and it's kind of like the bricks, you know, the building of the bricks of the foundation. And then what can grow forth? Oh, I really didn't mean to grab the black one, but that's okay. It's all okay. There's no mistakes in this. So I might just fill it in with green now. You know, usually how I do it, my favorite combination is to do these outlines with pen and then fill in the colors with colored pencils. That's how I like to do it. But again, you don't even have to do color if you don't want. So what could spring forth out of here? Well, first of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what's the foundations that I have already? What have I accomplished already? What foundations do I really have already? Well, this is hard. You know, this is really hard because we're so critical of ourselves. This might be, you know, where we want to. It's hard to compliment yourself. It really is hard. I'm like frozen in my tracks here. You know, I'm like, oh gosh, because I didn't really know for sure where I was going to go with this. I really didn't. So we're doing this pretty much live. You know, I had to edit out a few mistakes, you know, noises and different things, but you know, I'm just sitting down here on a Sunday morning, and we're going with it. Well, I do feel like I have a fair amount of talent. So I'm going to put that as one of my founding things that a foundation that I have to work with. And speaking of that, I feel like I'm definitely, I'm pretty hardworking, but I'm thinking I don't want to put the word hardworking. It's supposed to be, this is about flow. So I'm trying to think of another word for that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna break on the camera, and I'm gonna think about this, and I'm gonna come back, and then we're gonna go to the next step. Okay, everyone, I'm back. It was really kind of hard to come up with good things, but as I was saying it, I was saying I am, and then I was filling in the blank, and then some of these things are things that maybe, because I had another thought about it as I was doing it. See, this is how this psychological, it just comes to you. That, yeah, these could be building blocks for the future, but they can also be blockages, possibly that it was holding me back, but that I turned it around. Like I put, case in point, exactly what I'm talking about here is the like willing and allowing. I'm willing, I'm allowing. Because so many times the universe is trying to rain down blessings on us and we're blocking it ourselves. So instead of saying I'm blocking it because I'm closed, don't go with, I chose not to put any negative words on here. So I'm willing. I'm willing to give it a try. I have to be willing. I have to be a willing participant in order for the universe to work with me. I have to be open. I have to be allowing. I am allowing. So I was saying I am, this needs a D on it. And then I was filling in these blanks. I'll read you mine. I don't have a problem reading you mine. I put, I am experienced. I am productive. I am talented, I guess. I started out not putting it I am, but I will need skills. I am intuitive. I put intuitive twice. Look at that. Wow. Didn't even catch that till just this minute. So that, after you get it all done, you might do that too. So I guess intuitive is a very strong thing. Or maybe it's my subconscious mind telling me that I can use my intuition in two different ways, Which I think is initiating this is definitely doing that, because I've used my intuition for spiritual guidance to like do readings and create decks and stuff, and now I'm using my intuition in a different way. I mean, there's so many things that can be revealed through these processes. I am smart. I am deserving. That was another one. I am creative. I have compassion, open, willing, loving, talented, skills, allowing, and open. So that's I filled in my building blocks or my building bricks, but there also can be obstacles that I need to work on. They could be bricks in the road or bumps in the road. Now the second part what I want to do, and I'm going to use a purple for this because I think purple is kind of more of a high spiritual color. I just want to test out what the purple, is this a real dark purple? It is. I don't want a real dark purple. I want a rather lighter purple, so it's fine. And again, you don't have to incorporate all these colors. I like to incorporate colors. And crayons work really well for this. You don't have to go out and buy pens or anything else. Okay, so that's what I have there. And then this is going to be, this top for me is going to represent communication. So this is the earthly me. This is the 3D reality. 3D reality things. And then this is going to be me tapping into divine consciousness, me, asking for help. Either you could ask for help for anybody. This isn't a new age thing. You could ask for help from your angels for sure. You can ask for help from your spirit guides. You can ask for help from your ancestors and whoever else is up there. So I felt like I wanted it all to be kind of like raining down, but you don't have to, try not to think too much about it. So I'm just going to start going like this. And they can loop around and go different ways. And while you're doing this, I have to stop because I can't talk and do it at the same time. But while you're doing it, say, I ask for help from my higher guidance. I ask for help from my guardian angels. I ask for help from from God, from whatever, Allah, whatever you believe in. There's no right or wrong in this. I ask for help. I connect for help. I'm open to listen to higher guidance. Help show me the way and show me So it's real light, and I wanted it. I felt like I wanted it real light. Because this is ethereal. It doesn't have to be, yours doesn't have to be real light. You can be, hey, calling all angels. You can be like really bold about it. But I'm feeling I want it rather light. Now, as I did with here, I'm going to go ahead and start writing in words. So I'm going to turn, you can turn it, you don't have to hold it in one specific thing. I'm going to pick a curve that I like, and I'm just going to write, I'm calling all angels. Okay, my pen wasn't quite working, so I'm going to write angels. And then I'm going to go to a different spot, and I want to change. I feel like I want to change colors. If you don't want to change colors, you can do it. You can do this whole thing in black and white. That could, that could be very powerful too. The striking contrast of like the black and white. Or you can just do it all with pencil. None of this has to be anything fancy. I'm just having fun playing with markers. Like, it's bringing out that inner child stuff, So I'm going to say angels, and then I want to put guides over here. Guides. And I want to put my ancestors on here for sure. I've definitely been like communicating and connecting up with my ancestors a lot lately. I'm going to put that, they're closer to the ground because they've been on Earth life, so I'm going to put my ancestors in green and grounded and closer to the Earth. Again, this is just for me. It's not really anything, there's no rules. I want to put divine up here. Connecting with the divine. Spirit guides, angels, divine. Nature. There's so much magic in nature. I also want to put the word magic, come to think of it. I think nature needs to be of a green or brown color, maybe a brownish, huh? How dark of a brown is this? Okay, so I'm going to put nature. Nature is the bridge between heaven and earth. That's what just came through from my guides just now. So I'm going to put nature. And these are all the ways that I'm wanting to connect with higher guidance or things beyond my 3D reality that would help me and show me to obtain these core things that I'm really striving for. And you don't have to limit it to 4 or 5 things. Your whole thing could be what you want. And I think I'm going to put more words in what I want. Sometimes the vaguer the better, though, like as far as love goes. I don't think it's good to say, well, I want this person to love me, or for money thing. Well, I want to get this specific job. I always say that when I'm doing the readings. You don't let this is about letting the universe in. This isn't about you figuring things out in your head. This is about you putting down what you want and then allowing these things to come through. And in the process of the coloring and the rest of it, the words are there. It's part of the image. It's part of the process. You will get insights and downloads. And you could keep, I keep like a separate notebook on the side as I'm coloring it to get, just write down, jot down little ideas or little insights that come to me. I had something else that I was going to say besides nature, and I completely forgot about it. Well, I'll put elementals, I guess. Now, if you're not into elementals, you could be writing, everything could be based on your religion here. If you're very religious, this is not denominational. This is not religion. But if you operate within the structure of religion, great. This is for everybody. So you could write different Saint Michael or different Archangel Michael. You could put all that stuff in. But as I was saying here, the vaguer the better. We're asking for Spirit and to co-create with us on this journey of 2021, and these are the things that we want, and these are the things that the helpers that we are calling upon to help. I just put angels, but you could put anything. There was something else I was going to say and I forgot. Oh, well, here, let's move on to this part. Maybe it'll come back to me. Now, out of these bricks, too, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some curvy lines and just let them go where they want to go. because sometimes when you see bricks, I was actually photographed. I have a whole collection of photographs somewhere. If I can find them, I might put a couple. I think I deleted a lot of them, but that's something that always fascinates me, being an urban person living in the city. That it's hard to talk against. See, when I'm doing this, it's very difficult to carry on a conversation. When you see, you know, to me it's a symbol of triumph. It's a symbol of breakthrough, you know, that they're weeds, but they're growing in cement. They're growing in the cracks of the cement. You know, if you think cement, you can't break through cement, but yet they do. They break through the cement. And I want to put this one all the way up there. And I didn't even realize that it was skills and talents. You see, these are the things you just start drawing, and then, oh, this is coming between a talent. You know, it seems like I'm putting, I mean, it's on a top tier, so obviously there's going to be more, but for some reason I just wanted that to go all the way up. And you can draw more of things coming out of the cracks. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop with the markers myself. You could do this whole thing in pencils, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start coloring. I mean, I think I'm probably going to put more stuff in here, but I just want to, because I don't want the video to be too long. I just want to give you I'll keep popping back in and showing you where I'm at with this stuff. I think a lot of the coloring and stuff I'm going to do off camera and take my time with it, because it's really hard to talk and do this at the same time. But I saw this divine, and I'm just going to take some of this color and just start sort of coloring in some of these shapes here. And even if the shape isn't there, I feel like I want to create a new shape here. And I'm going to color that in as well. And I'm also going to, you know, you can start, you don't have to color the top first or the bottom first. You can jump all around. I'm going to start coloring in some of my little designs around happiness. And I'm just going to, now comes to me the fun part. Now comes the doodling. So now I'm going to doodle, oodle, oodle, until I just can't doodle no more. Oh, my guys are funny sometimes, yeah. So, yeah, I'm just going to go through and just start doodling. And you can draw stuff in the background, but this is like the basic foundation of it. You don't have to do it exactly like this, but this is like a good kind of foundation. Really, this just came. I knew I was going to do a 2021 doodle, but this whole format of the bricks and the connection to spirit, this just came to me off the cuff right now, as you know, live as I was recording the video. I didn't have any preconceived notion other than I was going to do, you know, a 2021 doodle, and I wanted to, because I got so much out of the birthday one, out of the solar return one. That was something I was going to say that I did in the other one. If it seems like it's too far of a jump or it's too far of a leap, like I realized that when I was, whoa, I think the giant icicle just fell off of my roof finally. Sorry about that. If it seems like it's too, like, to get to where you want to get to have these you know, love, or to have success, or these specific things that you wrote down here, instead of, you know, don't make it hard on yourself. So here's what I put here. On this one I put improvement, progress, because if you're improving and you're making progress, you know, that's it. This isn't meant to be some heavy thing that, oh, I've got an assignment, I've got to manifest all this stuff. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that in here too. I'm going to put it somewhere. Improvement and progress, you know, because that's something. That's not for nothing. Making progress is big, even if it's a small amount of progress. You know, making progress is something. Making progress is key, because you just make progress. I don't want to put small steps, because I'm open for big steps too. I'm open for quantum leaps, so I don't want to say small steps, but I want to say progress. Okay, I'm going to put progress just here. Just, you don't have, it doesn't have to be in the box or in a certain place. I'm going to put progress because that's important. And I'm going to put quantum leaps over here too. Because I'm open for that, baby. I am definitely open for some quantum leaps, okay? So, but it's not like, well, if I don't get, if I don't get prosperity and success, or I don't get love in my life. And notice I didn't put love as just romantic love, and I don't mean it in that way. It doesn't have to be just romantic love. It's just love in general, because we could all use more love in our life. So here, one more time, if you want to take a look at mine, you can copy my format. I'm totally sharing it with you freely. If you want to copy and do this exact same thing with the bricks and the top, yay, good. I think it was meant to be shared this way. Okay, so again, I'm going to just do some coloring, and I'm going to check back from, periodically with you and show you some more stuff as I go along. Okay, be back. Hi everyone, so I'm making some more progress here. Kind of finished the outlines of that, and I've created some new outlines in the 2020 area, 2021, and I'm going to be coloring them in. I started to do lines up here, and I actually don't like that, but I'm going to leave it. Well, I mean, there's no mistakes, but what I did instead then, I really like the lighter energy. And so I went in and I put a lot more swirls up here in the top. And because I feel like there's many paths. There's not just one path for the ancestors or the divine. There's many different paths and many different ways that divine intervention can happen, or communing with the divine, or higher knowledge, or again, whatever you want to call it. This is non-verbal too. Although I'm writing words, a lot of this is non-verbal, and that's how, like, early on I was having difficulty kind of trying to talk and do it at the same time, because it's absolutely like a non-verbal thing. Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick check-in, and I'm going to continue on, and I'll be coming back soon to show you some more progress. Okay. Everybody, I'm back. I've definitely, I think, made a lot of progress since the last time. I kind of got lost in coloring and stuff, and I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm going too far ahead of the game. I don't know a whole lot's changed. I started decorating some of the bricks in here, the different words on them. I went around and outlined. These was really, the year 2021 was really getting lost in all this stuff, so I went around and outlined again. I did add some more words for my upper realm here. I added, what did I add? I added downloads, direction. I can't even read what I wrote here. Guidance, downloads, direction. And I may write some more words up in there. And I don't know if I'm going to really fill it all in. I'm just going to, again, it's not a thinking process, It's just all of a sudden I'm just like, well, what do I want from these angels, ancestors, and guides, and everybody? Well, I want guidance, I want downloads, I want direction. I think I just thought of some more. I don't have my pens in here again. I'm in the other room coloring, and but like synchronicities, that's another thing I'm going to put up there. So just a quick check-in once more to show you, that it's really coming along. And yeah, I'm big on kind of filling in the whole space. You don't have to do that. You can leave a lot of it blank. You could just have 2020, there's just, we've covered this, I've said this before, but I just want you to know, and it doesn't have to be really bright, colorful like mine. You might prefer all dark colors, monochromatic, black and white. There's, again, any way you want to do it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to it, and I'll be back again to show you more. Alright everyone, I think that I'm done with my 2021 co-creative, doodle, manifestation, co-creation, therapeutic, intuitive, journal page, art page for 2021. There's a lot going on up in here. I ended up, of course, as you can see, I didn't leave it blank. I did every single spot, but I started like picking up some little things. Let me see if I can find something to point with here. Like there's a bird here. Like there was some lines that looked like a bird, so I kind of went with it and, you know, made it a bird. And then I saw some eyes over here, like an owl or something. And then I'm looking at this. This sort of looks like, I don't know, some kind of, but this is the wings of like maybe a dragonfly or something in here, so I kind of colored that in. So that's another thing that you can sort of do is, and then this, to me, this looks sort of like a sea creature going up. I mean, you can kind of get into these doodles and sort of look at them and, you know, find other things going on besides psychological insights. You can just find these little pictures and pick them out, and they might even have psychological insights. Here's another one. This reminded me of like a G clef of music, but it also then reminded me sort of like an angel, and then it also reminded me of a bowling pin there for a minute, of all things. I was never a bowler, but a lot of my mom was in bowling, and a lot of people in my family, older people in my family, were into bowling a lot. So I thought, well, maybe it's, you know, something, and then there was a little flower here, so I made that. So, you know, there's different things that'll show up, too, in these doodles that can really, this, now that I looked at it through the camera, this looks like a hand holding out. Yeah, so that's kind of fun, almost like there's smoke readings that I do, where you just look at the abstract imagery and just kind of make it, you know, make it your own and make it happen. All right, everyone, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed coming along on this journey with me. I would love, love, love to see your journal if you try to do one. So what I think I'll do is I'll put up a post in the in my Facebook page, the Rock and Roll Prophetess Facebook page. So if you go ahead and do one, please do, you know, do a photo comment and leave your image in the comment, because I would so love to see what the rest of you out there are coming up with, and, you know, variations on the idea and everything. And I went through and I liked, you know, I did these darker too, you can see that. But this is it. This is my 2021 manifestation, co-creation, intuitive, therapeutic art journal. I think I have to come up with a shorter name, but this is it. So thank you so much for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have the best 2021 ever. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate, and I'll speak to you soon. I look forward to seeing your creations as well. Okay.